of all that there is. I am Yahira Lobos, and I am the founder of an organization I am putting together in this last 13 years of my life, Crystal Nations Collective. I am here to talk about how to dismantle hierarchy for all of those that are seeking leadership in your community where there is a hierarchy of expertise and power. And a lot of times, most of the time, as we travel from city to city, state to state, country to country, we are all witnessing the corruption that is involved in not only politics hierarchy, but in the spiritual leaders hierarchy throughout every religion. In today's day of September 23rd, 2024, we just had a full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. We will be having a new moon on October 2nd that is going to be ushering in a new beginning, as that is a solar eclipse, the last one for this year, 2024. I go by the name of Yahira Lobos, as the name was gifted to me by a spiritual leader in a beautiful ceremony where I received my birth name from the beginning. Yahira coming from the Pleiades and the name meaning to enlighten. I am not proposing that I am here to enlighten every human soul. To me, the name means to bring light in to all of those situations that are dark, that we are looking at as a whole species of humanity, so that we could dismantle the old belief systems and hierarchies that no longer serve humanity. As we approach this time, we are looking at many of the prophecies worldwide, globally, culturally, religiously. Every sacred text and book is pointing to a time where we as humanity are to decide about how to go forward in the future, utilizing AI, artificial intelligence, how we can take the power back by caring more about what we put in our bodies, stopping the GMOs and the chemical trails from our air, stopping the atmosphere, stopping all of the pipelines that are carrying nasty, cruddy oil that we no longer need because we are an evolved species, ending the old patriarchal ways in which man controlled everything and was the be-all, end-all, as women in the divine feminine are now rising to open up the sacred hearts in this new earth that we are all proposing to fulfill, those prophecies of coming into peace and harmony where we have food and water that is drinkable and eatable for all. I, for one, am really neutral about all of the new things that are coming here on earth, including the artificial intelligence, because I'm utilizing it right now. And I believe that if you have a good intention, we can utilize artificial intelligence to assist us, but not take over the heart of us. And that's why I believe that the old paradigm of the patriarchal is ending, because it's no longer about the logical, rational way of just thinking. We need to get to the heart, to the divine feminine's way of leading with the heart. So many of us are struggling to make ends meet. Many people can't even pay their rent. They're homeless. I thought in 2020 everybody would get sober. A lot of the light workers did. I'm really proud of you. Thank you. A lot of people that have been suffering in their own family lineages have been looking at the ancestral trauma that's been handed down from generation to generation and are finally taking responsibility for themselves, their body, mind, heart, and soul. The Hopi speak about a time called the Great Purification, in which we are to purify our body, mind, heart, and soul. And so when it comes to the hierarchies that are present on the planet, whether it's your management team or spiritual leaders or politics or any of those in systems that are proposing to assist humanity or Mother Earth, we should question every one of them on their integrity, their ability to speak truth. To be a way shower, if you are in the hierarchy, means that you should be able to show the way of the light and the heart that will bring humanity to completion of healing that ancestral trauma so that we are no longer at war with one another for the past. That's clearly gone. To all of my brothers and dear sisters, I am a mixed mutt. My mother's name was Josephine Francis Saldivar. My father's name was Albert Richard DiGiorgio. My father was from Bari, Italy, right above Sicily, and my mother's family is from San Luis Potosi. Both of them were born in the United States. My mother in Houston, Texas, my father in Harlem, New York. And I was born in the city named Suffern, New York. A little cosmic joke, I used to say up until I got sober in 2012, I've been born in suffering, and I've been suffering ever since. And, when I got sober, I realized that I'm here to end human suffering and to birth a new earth. So I work amongst North America and the spiritual leaders that are both indigenous to this land and also from all around the globe. So I work with my brothers and sisters in South America, in Peru, in Japan, in Tokyo, in Sri Lanka, all Africa, all around the globe, Spain, England, UK, Alaska, Hawaii, Australia, India, Nepal. All of the third world countries are rising up to bring their problems to the plate. I believe that today everybody has a solution within them. And if we could just get to the heart of what matters to us and realize with real eyes what our gifts and talents are, then we can all birth the new earth in a non-hierarchical way. I believe hierarchy is here to assist humanity and lead in them to a better place where we can all be served a good life. It's going to be a lot of us looking at the corruption in the hierarchies and how that's affected us all, whether it was in politics or religion or in the education system or the medical system, the economic system. And we need to really question who's in power and why. And are they walking their talk? This is how we can dismantle corrupt hierarchies. You can start in your own community with questioning the very people who may be projecting their own dark shadow, their own problems onto other people so they can avoid consciously evolving and purifying their own body, mind, heart, and soul. Many people want to stay in victimhood, where in the new earth we end victimhood. Why? Because it's essential that all of our Native Americans, brothers and sisters, can finally just come into that acceptance of what happened 500 years ago. The same thing with the African Americans, the Jewish, the Celtics, women, children, homosexuals, all of the Mexicans, all of the third world countries. Who here thinks they were abused or suffered more? And is it a contest for you to cry out, I've been hurt the most. And my question to you would be, what are you doing to heal that rage within you that hasn't forgiven whatever group of people may have hurt your people by enslavement, genocide, causing poverty, sickness, illness, and the deprivation of your culture? I do not condemn anybody who has silenced the people for who they are and the way that they wish to present their beauty for the world or their way of praying. I don't believe that religion is wrong. I'm more spiritual than I am religious because I found fault in the man's word, in the written text of each book that I've read from different cultures, holding down people for being homosexual, women having to follow men, the absence of equality, the condemnation inside some of these sacred texts are not so sacred. My own people from Mexico were cast out of their beautiful city in San Luis Potosi, which allows me to be born, in Suffern, New York. And it's taken my whole life at 52 years old to find my way back home to my roots. And I do believe that whatever culture that you're born into or religion, that's for you to look into, to deep dive, to do the research, to find out what is the truth of who you are and where does your lineage bring you to. And how can you be a voice for your people? And how can you bring peace to your heart about the history of which has already been let go of? The past is over, the now is now. The present moment is how we can come together to unify all beings back to the sacred heart, back to the sacred circle. I personally have been building rainbow medicine wheels in North America since 2013. But I am not following or appropriating the Native American culture because medicine wheels belong on every planet and are on every planet. We are multidimensional beings. We are from the stars. It's time that the world wakes up to just how powerful and ancient we are. And if you're watching this, you are part of the people that is literally here to remember just who we are and why we came here and what is our mission together collectively. I believe it is to open the sacred heart, to forgive, to let go, to accept, to realize who we are so that we can move forward in harmony. We don't need to be at war with another culture or another religion or another country. And we definitely want to look at how many people are voting for these corrupt monsters that really don't have our humanity at heart. There's been greed and a abuse of power that's been going on for centuries, since the beginning of mankind. Because a lot of people would rather be a victim than to rise up from their own victimhood and do something to actually save this planet from destruction, poverty, illness, and separation. And it's up to each human being to remember that we are a particle of God and that we all belong here and we all deserve love. We all need to heal our past so that we can move forward in a good way without the racism and the projections and judgments that no longer are assisting humanity in creating peace on earth. I look forward to the day that we can have healing centers all around the globe. That's what Crystal Nations Collective is hoping to succeed in this lifetime. I'm looking for board members to create a nonprofit, an LLC, for youth, children, and families based on the fact that I'm a survivor of all abuses, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. I myself, Yahira Lobos, am a survivor of horrendous abuses as a child. And it was up to me to get sober in my adulthood and to get certified in all the modalities that I am to assist humanity, especially youth, children, and families, in healing their trauma and discovering who they are and remembering who we are so that we can birth something new. So have a council with your communities, with your families, if there's a hierarchy that is corrupt, that is in control of the people, where there is no fairness. You know deep within your bone, heart, and soul what doesn't feel correct. And the way that we dismantle the hierarchies is we connect our heart and our mind, and we give it a voice to ask the right questions, to use our discernment. The definition of the word discernment is to be able to realize, not judge. It's be able to know, feel into what is the best for you in alignment to who you are. So without judging other people for their belief systems or what they're doing or saying, you don't necessarily need to join that group if you don't align with their belief systems. So to use your discernment, you are to ask the bigger questions to reveal the truth of what is hidden. Ay, caramba. So we are here to ask the right question in a very neutral, balanced, mature, responsible way. Do not hold a judgment in your heart when you question. Be in your sacred heart as you ask the question, and be open. And take a pause if you get triggered. Remove yourself from the council so that you can go outside and talk with God. Whether that God is the Quran, or whether it was the Hebrew, or whether it was Catholic, take a moment to sit with your higher self and that which you call God. Nobody's here to define who God is for you. That is a personal decision, or choice rather, on how you choose to be one with all that there is, acknowledging, recognizing that which is sacred. Every particle of this earth and of humanity is sacred, whether you like it or not. Hate to really inform everybody, but it doesn't matter what you think. That doesn't define the world. Every particle is sacred. Every leaf. Thank you to all of you who may have listened thus far. It's a short video on how to use discernment. Oi, oi, hi Bethany. And how to dismantle the hierarchies, but in a good way. We are not victims of a corrupt hierarchy. We are the co-creators with the divine. And we're asking the bigger questions, not to get people in trouble, not to ostracize them. Every human soul in the corrupt hierarchies is being asked to heal. So we thank you for asking the big question.